In northeastern Spain, near the city of Zaragoza, a massive industrial project is underway that could reshape Europe's automotive future. In the town of Figueruelas, a 4.1 billion electric vehicle battery gigafactory is being built next to an existing car plant operated by Stellantis. But one detail about the project has drawn global attention. Around 2,000 Chinese workers are expected to help build and launch the facility. That raises an important question. Why would a European battery factory rely on such a large Chinese workforce? The answer reveals the fierce global race for electric vehicle technology and China's powerful influence over the most critical component of every EV, the battery. Electric cars often grab attention for their design, motors, and software. But the real bottleneck of the EV revolution is battery production. Without massive factories producing batteries at scale, the transition from gasoline cars to electric vehicles simply cannot happen. Every EV depends on a complex supply chain involving mining, chemical processing, and battery manufacturing. This challenge is especially urgent in Europe. The European Union plans to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars by 2035, meaning automakers must rapidly secure huge battery supplies. But Europe entered the battery race later than many other regions. And today, one country dominates the industry. China currently produces more than 70% of the world's lithium-ion battery cells and controls large parts of the EV battery supply chain. It processes key materials such as lithium, cobalt, graphite, and manganese, all essential ingredients for modern batteries. At the center of this ecosystem is contemporary Amperex Technology Corporated Limited, widely known as CATL. The company supplies roughly 1/3 of the world's EV batteries, powering vehicles produced by companies such as Tesla, BMW, Volkswagen, and Mercedes-Benz. This means that many electric cars on the road today rely on batteries or materials connected to China. One major reason for China's dominance is vertical integration. Many Western automakers historically treated batteries as components supplied by outside companies. Chinese companies often took a different approach. Manufacturers such as BYD developed vertically integrated systems that produce batteries, motors, electronics, and even entire vehicles within the same organization. This allowed them to reduce costs and scale production quickly. China also adopted lithium iron phosphate batteries, known as LFP batteries, earlier than most Western automakers. Although LFP batteries have slightly lower energy density than nickel-based alternatives, they offer several major advantages. They are cheaper, longer-lasting, more thermally stable, and avoid expensive materials such as cobalt. These benefits make them ideal for affordable mass-market electric vehicles. By adopting this technology early and manufacturing at massive scale, Chinese companies gain something extremely valuable: experience. Battery production is an industry where success depends heavily on learning through manufacturing. Every battery cell produced generates data. Defects reveal weaknesses in the production process, and improvements accumulate over time. Because Chinese factories began operating at large scale years earlier than many Western plants, they gained years of manufacturing experience. This phenomenon is often called learning by doing, and it compounds over time. Factories producing millions of battery cells generate insights that smaller operations cannot easily replicate. That industrial learning helped China dominate both battery production and the global EV market. China is now the largest electric vehicle market in the world. Chinese consumers purchase more electric vehicles each year than buyers in Europe and the United States combined. Intense competition among Chinese manufacturers has also pushed EV prices down dramatically. Some electric vehicles produced in China now cost half as much as comparable European models, largely because battery costs are lower. As Chinese EVs began expanding into international markets, European policymakers and automakers took notice. Cheap Chinese EVs gaining market share raised concerns about the future of Europe's automotive industry. But the reality remains clear. China currently leads the world in battery production, and that reality is directly connected to the giant new factory being built in Spain. Europe attempted to build its own battery champions, but several projects struggled. The British startup Britishvolt collapsed before reaching full production. Meanwhile, Northvolt has faced financial and scaling challenges while expanding its factories. Rather than waiting years for a fully domestic battery industry to develop, Spain chose a different strategy. It partnered with an experienced global manufacturer. CATL is working with Stellantis to build one of Southern Europe's largest battery factories next to the car plant in Figueruelas. This brings us back to the question of the 2,000 Chinese workers. Their arrival is not primarily about replacing local labor. Instead, it is about transferring expertise. Battery gigafactories are among the most complex manufacturing environments in modern industry. Production lines require strict temperature control, chemical handling systems, and extremely precise quality monitoring. Even small mistakes can disrupt production or create defective batteries. Because Europe has limited experience building battery gigafactories at scale, Chinese engineers and technicians with prior experience are helping construct and launch the plant. Their role is expected to be temporary. Over time, Spanish workers will operate the facility themselves after receiving training during the early stages. The scale of the project is enormous. Once completed, the factory will cover hundreds of thousands of square meters and operate around the clock. It is expected to create about 4,000 direct jobs, but the most important figure is its production capacity. The factory aims to produce 50 gigawatt-hours of batteries every year. To understand that scale, consider that a typical electric vehicle requires between 50 and 75 kilowatt-hours of battery capacity. At full production, the Spanish plant could produce batteries for roughly 600,000 to 1 million electric cars per year. Production is expected to begin around 2026, with full capacity likely reached closer to 2030. The factory will mainly produce lithium iron phosphate batteries, the same chemistry that helped Chinese manufacturers scale rapidly. These batteries are cheaper and more durable, making them ideal for affordable EVs. By avoiding nickel and cobalt, they also reduce dependence on expensive and geopolitically sensitive materials. From Europe's perspective, the project is also part of a broader industrial strategy. About $350 million in public funding has been provided through Spanish and European Union programs aimed at accelerating the green energy transition. The goal is to ensure that advanced manufacturing capacity exists within Europe rather than relying entirely on imports from Asia. Still, the project has sparked debate. Supporters argue that partnerships with experienced companies allow Europe to build battery factories faster and create thousands of jobs. Critics worry about something less visible but potentially more important: control over technology. If foreign companies control the core processes behind battery production, Europe could remain dependent on outside expertise. Workers may learn how to operate factories, but not necessarily how to design them. That distinction could determine who controls the next generation of battery innovation. The Spanish Gigafactory therefore represents more than just a factory. It highlights a larger strategic dilemma for Europe. Should the continent prioritize speed by partnering with global leaders? Or should it focus on developing entirely domestic technology, even if that takes longer? For now, Spain has chosen cooperation, but many policymakers believe these partnerships must be paired with strong investment in European research and next-generation battery technologies. Because the global race for electric vehicles is only just beginning, and the outcome could reshape the future of the automotive industry. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the global EV race, make sure to like and subscribe for more stories about the world's most ambitious engineering and industrial projects.